What is it with me and forgetting to turn on my mic? Holy cow. Anyway, darlings. So, it seems like even though Love is Blind season 6 has officially ended, I mean, wow, the shenanigans of that season is, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But if you thought that the foolishness and the shenanigans was over, it seems like, hello, you've got some new tea brewing, spilling over, and still boiling. Um, did Clay just go prap on AD's night comments and funny finances? I mean, so we have seen a lot of the major players of Love Is Blind season six's contestants doing the rounds, the interviews, and what have you. And of course, Clay and AD are not exempt from that. So, in his recent interview with Access Hollywood, Clay is asked about AD calling him a walking red flag, to which Clay responded that, and I quote, I do think that in life, you do have family trauma that comes about. And I do think that I'm a work in progress. And I do believe that everybody is a work in progress. I pretty much came in and just want to let people know that I'm not perfect. End quote. He also adds that he went into the show to hopefully get married and that in the past he has also cheated. Mm? Well, hell no. Ooh, we didn't hear that during the show. We did hear a lot of him saying, cheating is in my DNA, that his dad had in the past when he was growing up brought him to these little vacation type things where his dad was actually seeing his mistresses. Okay, well then. Also don't know if he was trying to squeeze out a tear because in the show, if I recall, we've seen his eyes get red, but there are no tears falling down his cheeks. So I don't know. I think I'm over the tearless crying in this show. Um, and also, if we can remember, Clay did spend a lot of time seeking validation from AD, and she had reassured him that basically he's not a man child. And we also know that Clay's parents were married 23 plus years, and that Clay's mother stuck with Clay's dad through all of his infidelities. And obviously, later on, just decided it was just time. It was just time to move on, cut that cord, and just divorce him. I think his mom's name is Margarita. I believe she was not privy to the additional infidelities by her then husband until the show aired. So that's really got to hurt more. Like it like just rips open that scab, that scar. We also have seen his mom, Clay's mom, been a class act throughout the show and beyond. Um, she largely stays respectful at AD and her family whenever she's been asked, like when they were at the Tamarind Hall show. She and Clay were in the Tamarind Hall show. Um, However, though, in another interview, a different interview with Angela Yee, Clay disclosed that his mom was feeling some type of way about a comment that AD shared at the reunion where AD was asked why she's not willing to date Clay post the reunion. And AD's answer was that, respectfully, she didn't want to be like Clay's mom and is choosing herself. Now, if you have seen the entire show at every episode, you will see that, Clay has not technically been husband material. The man has just been all about himself, kind of like, you have to chase me instead of him chasing the girl. And, Um, um, and then having like just these airheady type of comments. I mean, yeah, just basically he would vacillate between my parents were married 20 plus years, my parents marriage of 20 plus years imploded, and my dad cheated on my mom like nearly the whole time, if not the whole time. So it's like that was his full storyline. I mean, people weren't even asking, but you just like share it like it's candy or something. But back to the interview with Angela Yee, Clay disclosed again that his mom um, felt like it was, you know, disrespectful of AD to say that she didn't want to be like his mom. So she chose herself versus going back with Clay to, rekindle whatever they had in the show. Um, was she wrong though? Was she wrong? Why would you want to subject yourself through that sort of that trauma, that horror? 20 plus years, and the whole time your partner is out chasing tail everywhere. I mean, duh, who would want that? I mean, no, I don't know of anybody in their right mind that would want that kind of setup in a relationship. I really don't. Um, I didn't hear in 80's voice that the response that she gave was mean spirited. Um, do I feel like it cut Clay in a way? Perhaps. Could AD have chosen gentler words to convey her thoughts? Perhaps. But here we are today, with Clay expressing that his mom felt the sting of AD's words. And when we actually thought that's where it ended, a no ma'am, and no sir, because Clay's claws were sharpened and he was not going to continue to mince his words, albeit respectfully. He also inserted that his mom was married for, again, that long. And like I said, what is the point of bragging about being in a marriage for however long it was, 20 plus years, and being tormented and psychologically tortured because you're not sure if your mate is actually on a business trip or on a side chick trip, you know? I mean, ooh, it's just not something to brag about. It's just not. Um, I'm sorry. I feel bad for his mother, but at the same time, she was also a willing participant in it. For whatever her reasons were, she chose to stay in it for the amount of years that she did, right? So, just from that vantage point, I would not be bragging about the length of time that they were married. Yeah. Mm. Um, and I don't know if Clay pulls that card out because he wants an empathetic ear. But yeah, just stop it. I mean, let those ghosts rest. But there's more. He was not done. Clay also intimates that he may have been fooled by AD portraying herself to be this like hit the ground running kind of hustler because he's an entrepreneur with multiple businesses while AD was more comfortable staying back home and being a housewife. Um, was it wrong for AD to choose to be a housewife? No. Um, I do wonder, was this not something ever discussed between the two of them while they were in the pods? Like, okay, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna go do that hustle. I'm gonna be at home and doing the home things and getting things ready for you when you get home. Whatever, hot meals, whatever, like the 1950s sort of housewife. Okay, but like the 2024 version or whatever have you. Um, I'm so confused with this too because it's like it's so important to have like discuss finances deeply, while you were in the pods, and then obviously if you were like engaged out of the pods, you would carry that conversation again over in the real world when you can see each other and share with each other what or where you are with your like financial health. um we know that Clay is all about securing his bag, and maybe AD had done her homework prior to coming to the show by padding her savings enough to survive on for I don't know how many months they would have to be out, while filming the show. I still wonder why it seems like finances was just not an immediate subject to be discussed between these two. So, hopefully, for anyone hoping to be married, whether through the show or otherwise, I hope that those in depth convos include financial health for each of the partners. I'm just saying. And if 80 was truly so different from him, as Clay wants to claim she is in terms of financial health or fiscal responsibility, why was he still chasing her, telling her at the reunion that she is the love of his life? But then we don't hear that from Clay in any of the interactions they've had in like the scenes together during the show prior to the actual reunion. Like, Clay, are we still stretching the 15 minutes of fame here? Speaking of, actually, now that I think about it, he also dropped hints that AD may be a kept girl, a sugar baby. Because pre the show, she was dating someone who provided her what she needed, financially or otherwise. Well, that little nugget was allegedly little nugget was explained further by AD in her interview with Nick Vile, where she stated that she's never had an issue because in the past. Is that Nick Vile interview or is the other interview? Shoot. But she stated that in one of the interviews, AD stated that she's never had an issue in the past because financially because she was kept and am kept. And I'm like, oh, okay. Currently is and in the past was. There you go. So is there some truth to her being a sugar baby? Perhaps. And here we have entering the ring is Clay's alleged BFF, who commented on Cammy, I forgot her last name, podcast where she showed snippets of like her interview with AD, and the BFF apparently, according to the comment that this alleged Clay BFF left on Cammy's Insta, is that he and Clay had been living in Charlotte for several years, and he also claims that AD's finances are in fact funny. I don't know how he knows this. I mean, is this firsthand knowledge? I don't know. He continues that AD has a sugar daddy funding her lifestyle, going as far as buying her a car and getting her an apartment. He further alleges that she's not a realtor and challenges AD to show proof. Ooh, okay. That she's actually sold a house. Well, damn. And Mr. BFF is pissed off. Further, he states that AD needs to stop going on press runs to lie on a dude who's done nothing and said nothing but kind, respectful things about her. Ooh, damn. Well, this tea, like I said, is piping hot, y'all. Who could use a BFF like that dude? Raise your hands if you can. Hello. And that's not all, because BFF said that around November 2023, which was around Edie's birthday, Edie's alleged sugar daddy confronted both Clay and himself outside of a club. I'm not sure if this is the club that AD used to work at, or no, and told Clay to stop messing with AD because AD is still involved with him. Ooh, ooh, okay. So, from a video posted by YouTuber Yanni, she also seems she had done some digging and seems like AD had stopped working as a realtor as of 2021. Allegedly, AD's realtor days stopped before they even started. And this is per AD's Instagram. Like, in this digital age, I feel like I can't find a realtor who doesn't actually have an Instagram page or like a Facebook page or some kind of social media page, right? Like it's almost a prerequisite to have like a digital footprint, a digital business page. You know what I mean? It's like we don't even do yellow pages anymore. You just go through socials. So, it's easier for customers to check out how you're doing with your business and stuff and like what sort of like depending on the industry, what like, being a realtor, how many homes have you successfully sold and things like that. Like and what do you continue to do? So if AD was indeed employed during her stint on the show, she wasn't doing the real estate thing because she was home all day every day. So I feel like even in selling Tampa cast, we're out there hitting the ground selling homes like hotcakes. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Of course, AD has also been making the interview rounds herself. Go girl. From the Nick Vile show to the Cami Crawford show, I think it's called Relationship. And she answers Clay's digs and she says, my finances have never been funny. Ooh. And this is again reminiscent of Clay's comment after their non wedding fiasco, where he feels like AD's finances are sus. Like, sir, serious. He's basically hinting she's unemployed, allegedly. We know that per AD, though, she stated that she's a VIP manager at a club, which we now know is owned by her ex boyfriend, who may have been the person who told off the BFF and Clay about, still coming around AD and things like that. Per AD, though, she says that this ex boyfriend is the same person who did tell off the scouting folks for the Love is Blind season 6 because the contact number that the scouting folks had as a business number to the club was actually the dude's personal number. So, yeah, it's getting interesting. I mean, so look, we have seen AD in a variety of shows, okay, and podcasts, and she's out here getting some kind of bag, all right? Okay. So, if she is a sugar baby, that just means someone thinks highly enough of her to finance her life. Down to her toes, honey. Yes. Wouldn't you think? Look, if I didn't think highly of someone and had the actual means to finance their lifestyle, I certainly wouldn't do it. No, no, ma'am. No, sir. I understand the people pocket watching, but like in certain industries, it is sus to claim to have a job and have savings when you actually don't. I think that's what I think is making people look at AD sideways because it just didn't make sense to be chasing after Clay, who was almost always embarrassing her with his antics on the show. But look, y'all, it was painful to watch AD continue to chase him, okay? It really was. And do we know for sure if the rumors about AD and Clay were in cahoots to stay on the show for clout? Does it seem plausible now? I don't know. Maybe for Clay? Question mark. Allegedly. We have to commend Clay though for being a homeowner, and he also works at Microsoft. It's a 9 to 5 kind of job, honey. He also rents out jet skis and he does Airbnb. So the only long hours I can think of would be the 9 to 5 because it's preset. You can't just like say, oh, randomly I'm going home early today because I want to spend time with my beau. Yeah, can't. Because immediately after they came back to Charlotte from their honeymoon, Clay had to hit the ground running and get back to work at his 9 to 5. Um, Although the other extracurricular jobs that Clay does have, doesn't seem like it would require daily oversight, like renting the jet skis, the Airbnb. I mean, are you the actual person cleaning the Airbnb? Like, after your guests leave, or like the jet ski business? Is it like daily rentals? Like you have to like put gas in there daily? I don't know. I'm just saying. But for as for AD, she had already said during the show that she didn't have a day-to-day schedule. It's like whatever comes up, basically. She'll be doing her soft girl things, and when the need arises, she'll go and meet with you. Now, that's what we are now starting to put together, is that AD didn't actually have a solid work schedule because, well, she's not actually wasn't actually trying to work that hard or at all. So in all, AD is obviously not here for anyone questioning her financial stability or lack thereof. In the Cami show, my nose just started like plugging up, sorry. She stated that her finances have never been funny, and she had more than one job, and she prepared financially to offset, again, being on the show and not having a paycheck. Those are all valid. And she also adds that Clay never asked to see her financial stats. Ooh, okay. Mm. Now there's a new wrench in this tit for tat. And in closing, darlings, do y'all feel like this is a case of jealousy based on how well liked AD is during and after the show versus people actually feeling sideways for Clay still? Do y'all feel like AD is indeed in her soft sugar baby life? I mean, if so, does that mean that the storyline she and Clay had was fake? Well, now, the allegedlys. I have to say though, AD, continue getting that bag, girl. Get your bag. All your interviews, your endorsements, all those extra things that have now come to fruition with you being on the show. Get your bag, girl. Get your bag and do what you gotta do and show the world that you actually have things in your bag, in your pockets. And it's like, hello. Yes, you've got this handled. All right then, darlings. And with that, we end it with this short, it's not even short, it's like 20 some minutes. Quick update on the tit for tat between previous lovebirds, Clay and AD of Love is Blind Season 6. I shall see you guys later. But before that, remember to be fabulous because there is nothing else you can do but be your fabulous self. And leave grace for others. I know it's hard. I know. But do try to leave grace for others. And to always remember to journey in gratitude, darling dears. I shall see you in the next go round. Toodaloo. Bye.